Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I'm going to take a look at what's going to happen to Warrior in Ashes of Outland. I'm going to take a look at all the new upcoming Warrior cards and a bunch of theorycrafted Warrior decks that I have built to see how these cards could actually be used in decks. If you enjoy this content, then please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get notifications. I'm going to do this for every class in the game. But first up, let's look at Warrior. Warrior is going to get a new prime minion, Kargat Blade Fist. A 4-mana 4/4 with Rush, Death Rattle, shuffle Kargat Prime into your deck, and Kargat Prime is an 8-mana 10/10 with Rush, and whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain 10 armor. So Kargat is a very flexible card. You can use this at least in every mid-range and every control deck. I'm wondering whether I would put this in aggro decks too. I'm a little bit uncertain about that, but 4-mana 4/4 Rush isn't terrible, it's okay. And then of course Kargat Prime, even an aggressive deck that can just push through taunt minions and do things. Warrior is getting a good bunch of new control cards in the expansion. There's Bulwark of Azinot, a 3-mana weapon. Whenever your hero would take damage, this loses 1 durability instead. Well, is that good? I think it's really dependent on the meta, because obviously if the meta is like very combo-ish, you get hit very hard, big hits to the face, yeah, Bulwark is awesome. But then again, if you're facing an imprisoned Antaean, and you have Bulwark equipped, and then the Antaean just goes pew 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 pew, and durability goes down, then it's not so good. So I'm a little bit bearish on the Bulwark. I don't currently see how it helps Control Warrior win games, but it might, so that's something I really want to see played. Then we're getting Blade Storm, a new spell to replace the outgoing Warpath. Blade Storm 3-mana, deal 1 damage to all minions, repeat until 1 dies. So if there's a board of roughly similar size minions, Blade Storm can be really good. If there's a 1 health minion and a big minion, yeah, Blade Storm is not so great. So there will be a lot of work to set up good Blade Storm boards and things like that, but overall it looks like it's a good card and definitely a control tool that Control Warrior needs now, because many control tools are rotating out. Then there is Sword and Board, 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, gain 2 armor. So it's a 2 mana cheaper bash that deals 1 damage less and you gain 1 armor less, but would bash see play in the current meta? I don't think it would. Would Sword and Board see play in the current meta? That 2 damage, I don't think that's enough. I don't think this is worth a card slot in a deck right now. So I'll pass on that. Then there's the Imprisoned Ganok, 1 mana 2/2 demon, dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, equip a 3/2 axe. I think this is a good card for a control deck to play on turn 1, but its value goes down quite heavily as the game goes on. Then again, don't most 1-drops suffer from that? It's something that I'm planning to try out in Highlander Warrior, but I'm really uncertain how it's going to go because of that steeply going down value curve on it. It's good very early on, but becomes worse the later the game goes. And then there is Scrap Golem, a replacement for the Rotten Apple Bomb, a 5-mana 4/5 mech, taunt, Death Rattle, gain armor equal to this minion's attack. So it's better than the Rotten Apple Bomb, because you get armor. And also it's a taunt minion for Warrior, where Armadillo is still a thing, so it can gain a buff from that. It's a mech. Mech tag is getting quite irrelevant now because Dr. Boom is going away, all the magnetic mechs are going away, so that's actually probably not helping right now. But alright, it's a potential taunt minion for a Warrior deck that uses Armadillo. So my overall impression is that these control tools that Warrior is getting, there's like a lot of okay tools, but nothing that really catches my eye and just screams that this is awesome. So we'll see how it goes. And these are the remaining Warrior cards from the set. First of all, there's Corsair Cache. And I mean, Corsair Cache, that looks like a really good card. This is probably my favorite Warrior card from this expansion. 2 mana, draw a weapon, give it +1/+1. You can put this in like a Bomb Warrior, to tutor for your Wrench Calibers. You can put this in like a Pirate Warrior, tutor for Ankar, or tutor for Arcanite Reapers. Just a really solid card. Then there's a card that I have a hard time understanding, the Wormhole Challenger. 3 mana 1/10, Battlecry, choose an enemy minion, battle it to their death. there's not much left of those stats after that battle, and it can't battle to death very big minions anyway. If there was a simple way to hand buff this, then this would be just really good. But there isn't a simple way to hand buff it. It doesn't have taunt, or your hand buffs are mostly based on minions that have taunt. So I don't see how you can make this better, and then I don't see why you would use it. Is it still strong enough for early removal piece in a Control Warrior? I don't feel like it is, but we'll see. It's an interesting card, I can say, but I don't think it's a strong card. And then there are two interesting new cards that are sort of this Pain Warrior cards. Blood Boil Brute 7 mana 6/8 Rush, costs 1 less for each damaged minion, and Bone Chewer Raider 3 mana 3/3 Battlecry if there's a damaged minion, gain +1/+1 and Rush. Obviously both of these have a major upside for damaged minions. Cost discounts, cheating out stuff early is always awesome in Hearthstone, but damaged minions that have to be on the board, that has got to be one of the most difficult conditions they have been to fulfill. Like Sea Giant only requires minions on the board. Many other discounts only require that minions have died. But there have to be actively damaged minions on the board, and I'm not a believer. I might be wrong about this, because mana discounts are so incredibly powerful, but I just don't see how it works. It's easy to imagine the upside scenarios with this. You play Risky Skipper, you play something, opponent has minions too, stuff gets damaged, this becomes free, Rush is in. It's easy to see those upsides, but what about the downside of there being an empty board and you have these damaged minion synergy cards in hand, and then you're like, okay, can I play this? Can I be proactive with this? And no, you can't always be proactive with this. So far I'm not a believer in these. I tried to model like what sort of deck you would build a Pain Warrior deck, but knowing how weak Frothing Berserker is at the moment very often, I just don't see it. Well, what do I see? First of all, I have built a Highlander Warrior, a Control Warrior. I also wrote about this deck for Hearthstone top decks, so you can check out their site for more details, link is down below in the description. And the main thing that I've been trying to answer with this deck is like, okay, we're past the Dr. Boom world. We don't have the Dr. Boom Mad Genius anymore. What is a Highlander Warrior to do? And it's still a control deck, there are still a lot of control tools. I'm expecting a fairly aggressive meta thanks to all the Demon Hunters. So the main expectation here is that some value cards will be enough. What you need is you need a lot of defensive tools, and you need tools that you can play unconditionally that generate you more resources, because it's a heavy resource generation meta. So people will generate more resources to fight you, so you will need more removal pieces to fight back. But you cannot afford to sacrifice too much tempo because you're under constant pressure. Those are like the design criteria that I have built this deck with. So resource generation comes from stuff like Vulpera Scoundrel, Cobalt Spellkin, things that you might be able to weave in there and still get those resources out. And of course, being a Highlander deck, it has Zephyrus the Great, it has Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, there is some inherent power in every Highlander deck. If I were to build this for a slower meta, I would try to put more value in it, then I would consider stuff like Grand Lackey Urk and Barista Lynchen, for example. Those would be like tools that you could get more value into this, so that then you would just have more stuff to play with. But they would be slow tempo, so then you would not be able to use them to just stay alive, which I imagine is going to be one of the main things that you're trying to accomplish. Another deck that I have updated for the upcoming meta is Galakrond Warrior. Galakrond Warrior doesn't lose a whole lot, but it does lose some key pieces in Towncriers and Eternium Rowers, so what are you going to do at the start of the game? I have added Blazing Battle Mage to the deck to get another 1-drop over here. I considered the Orc Merchants, but they're not that effective typically as 1-drops, and I wanted something that I can put on the board on 1. Kargat Bladefist seems like a good addition to this archetype, and I have opted to go for Grom as the final end burst available to the deck. But that is not necessarily the only way to build Galakrond Warrior. I was really trying to figure out, okay, what do I do with these bomb cards? First I actually thought that bomb cards would rotate out, but then I realized that actually most bomb cards are from Rise of Shadows. It's only going to lose some bits and pieces here and there. but the deck is losing Dr. Boom Mad Genius. And one of the big things about Bomb Warrior being this sort of very control-ish deck, or you could play it a bit more aggressively, but you could also play a very control game with it, was because the bomb generators synergized extremely well with Dr. Boom. And now you don't have Dr. Boom anymore, so you lose that mech synergy, so well, which direction are you going to take with the bomb cards? And I think the most probable direction that you can take with the bomb cards is to put them in a Galakrond shell. So then you have this kind of a hybrid deck, a Galakrond Bomb Warrior. So instead of that Chrome Burst, what you have is you put bombs into the opponent's deck. And you can also disable their Highlander cards with that, so there are some definite upsides. And then Corsair Cash can be used to tutor for choppers, Ankars, wrench calibers. So this would be an alternative take on the Galakrond Warrior with a slightly different win condition, and making use of Blastmaster Boom, which is always fun. Finally, the surviving pirate deck for the Ashes of Outland meta is supposed to be Pirate Warrior, because Pirate Warrior doesn't lose to pirates yet. Like, Rogue is losing so many pirates, but Pirate Warrior gets to keep most of its pirates. And Pirate Warrior also gains Corsair Cash, so they can tutor for the weapons. Just grab an Arcanite Reaper with that or something. This deck is even more focused on hitting face with weapons. Weapons are now a really big deal in Pirate Warrior. Sure, you have all those pirates hanging around too, but weapons are the big deal. And Pirate Warrior also gains Maiev Shadowsong. Maiev Shadowsong is great in an aggressive deck like this. Just put a taunt minion on a break for 2 turns while you hit face. The opponent will die before it comes back, so it's irrelevant. And Maiev also brings a 4/3 body on the board that needs to be answered. So what's there not to like? That's awesome. So the most promising way I see for Warrior to do aggro is with these pirates. Another alternative would be to try to build that Pain Warrior style deck, where you would be aggro, but you would depend on damaged minions. I just couldn't find enough faith in any of the lists that I was able to create to really present them. So Warrior will have a few decks available to it in Ashes of Outland. I think Galakrond Warrior probably looks like it's going to be the strongest. Is it going to be with the bombs? Is it going to be without the bombs? I think the best shell for bombs is Galakrond Warrior 2 in the upcoming expansion, so that's where I believe bombs will go. And then you can try to build the Control Warrior. It has to be Highlander most likely, because Zephyrus and Dragon Queen are just so good. And you're losing Dr. Boom too, so that hurts the deck. And you can try to build Pirate Warrior, and Pirate Warrior to get some improvements in the new expansion, so it's going to be better, but is it good enough? Anyway, potentially Warrior could have as many as 5 viable decks, I guess, in Ashes of Outland, if that sort of Pain Warrior is built successfully. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.